Tonight, the world's richest man in charge of Tesla and SpaceX is set to become a media mogul. Twitter announcing that Elon Musk has bought the social media giant for $44 billion.
I don't want to be in this car no more, because I see it's getting crazy. So I get out the car and it's like everything happens. One thing that you gotta remember, one way don't stop no show, this thing on people.
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of The Tape. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Glad you can join us here on The Tape on this Thursday, April 29th, 2022. Yes, so we are here on The Tape on this Thursday, April 28th, I'm going to say. But join in the conversation using the hashtag Tape here on Connect. And don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe, Miss Karen. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on The Tape. We got a lot of stories to get to. Pop culture hub. Let's get started with the big story. The big story this week is, yes, you may have heard, Elon Musk has bought Twitter. Elon Musk, the Tesla CEO, decided that he wants his share of the pie with Twitter. He advocates for free speech and all this. Some say that this might open the floodgates for people who can say anything they want. And Elon Musk is giving them that power. Even saying Trump can come back if he gets reinstated. Let's get to the latest on how Elon Musk brought Twitter.
Tonight, the world's richest man in charge of Tesla and SpaceX is set to become a media mogul. Twitter announcing that Elon Musk has bought the social media giant for $44 billion, writing, upon completion of the transaction, Twitter will become a privately held company. The New York Times reporting Musk negotiated the details with Twitter's 11-member board overnight and into the early hours this morning. The deal means Twitter stockholders will get $54.20 for every share they own.
So for a lot of shareholders, this is kind of a quick win. It's a very nice quick win. Simple.
Musk announced his proposal in a tweet just 11 days ago, calling it his best and final offer. He's long been critical of how Twitter manages content on its platform, telling a TED conference his takeover plan is about free speech.
Twitter has become kind of the de facto town square.
He's got well over 80 million users. He tweets a lot. He has been very public with some of his criticism about the platform, so he's putting his money where his tweets are. He's buying the asset.
Musk has talked about adding the ability to edit tweets and is promising to make Twitter's algorithm on how tweets get displayed public to build more trust. And he wants to eliminate spam, but he hasn't said whether he will allow banned users back on. That includes former President Trump, who told Fox News that even if he's reinstated, he intends to stay off the platform in favor of his own Truth Social.
Elon Musk buying Twitter. Many people are wondering, many people are concerned that what he's going to do with Twitter after having Twitter being public now is going to be private under his auspices. We'll have to see what on this new leadership what Elon Musk is going to bring. But he made a joke about he even buy Coca-Cola and put, you know what, back in it. I'm like, he said he misunderstood, but I don't know. It's something about Elon Musk that some people got to watch out for this. I'm just telling you. Well, we'll move on to that, on celebrity news. Many people are still talking about the court case between Johnny Depp and Amber Heard. Yes, Johnny Depp and Amber Heard are going through a lot. The soon-to-be exes are battling out in court. Johnny Depp even trying to throw tit for tat. A lot of people saying Johnny Depp is narcissist. A lot of people saying Amber Heard is bipolar. Let's get a breakdown on this whole entire courtroom case right now.
Secret audio clip after secret audio clip exposed in court.
Next move, if I don't want to going out for a little while, it's gonna be a bloodbath.
Using Johnny's own words, Amber's defense attorney painted a disturbing picture of a dysfunctional relationship.
I did not put a cigarette out on her.
This apparently recorded by Amber herself and played for the world to witness.
All the coke you've done today and all the booze you drank today,
By the way,
has it helped you? Has it helped us?
Amber's lawyer also read to the jury a 2016 text from Johnny that led to this tense exchange.
She will hit the wall hard, 4 exclamation points. And then later down you say, I can only hope that karma kicks in and takes the gift of breath from her. Did I read that right?
Objection compound. I'll allow it. This
you read that correctly. Hitting the wall hard based on the accusations that she... I'm sorry, I was talking. Is that all right?
You'd answer my question. We'll take a look at the next element. Thank you.
As long as you're happy, sir.
Johnny is suing Amber for $50 million, claiming his career took a nosedive after she wrote in this 2018 op-ed, quote, I became a public figure representing domestic abuse. She did not mention him by name, though she did get a restraining order against him in 2016. And Depp became testy with Heard's lawyer when he gave Johnny a slew of negative articles written before Amber's op-ed was published.
It's a stack of hit pieces.
The first one is called
the Ms. Heard's publicity team.
Where Did It All Go Wrong for Johnny Depp? After a string of flops and a ton of bad press, Johnny Depp's star power looks as wobbly as Jack Sparrow on a plank. Did I read that right?
You read that very, very well.
A marriage gone very wrong and a lifestyle he can't afford inside the trials of Johnny Depp. Did I read that right?
You did. You should read the article.
And the last one.
And Court TV's Chanley Painter is with us once again. The room sort of erupted laughing.
I have to say, as I sit in the courtroom, I have a really good seat up front where I can eye the jurors. And in those moments where Johnny Depp will have a comment or a wisecrack, I do notice some cracks on the faces of these jurors. Now, some don't seem amused at all, but every now and then, he'll get a smile from a juror, and that's a win for him.
There's one recording that really got me, and Johnny said, we should just leave each other, or we're going to have another bloodbath. It's almost like they played a game of chicken over who would leave. It's better to leave. And neither one of them does, because they're so unbelievably addicted and hooked on each other and the drama.
The mudslinging, this is a soap opera, reality TV, happening, playing out inside a civil courtroom. And the reason they're able to go into all of these details is for context, because this jury has to decide who is telling.
Like I said, Johnny Depp, Amber Heard, what they say, perception is reality. You never know what a couple goes through. Because, people will put a facade like they're okay, and then on social media, couples goes, and it can be far from different from what you see on the internet. So a lot of people got to be aware of just, if you, like I said, with Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, if y'all not in love with each other no more, just get a divorce and just move on. Move away from each other. Start a new life, a new journey. I think some people just don't do that, but in those instances and stuff, that's how it be sometimes, that most people don't take heed of that and stuff. And like I said, that's how it be sometimes. All right. Talk shows this week. Rapper Megan Thee Stallion sat down with CBS This Morning's Gayle King, and she talked about the shooting on that fateful night that changed everything for her, rapper Tory Lanez, and Megan's former best friend, Kelsey. Let's hear what Megan Thee Stallion had to say to Gayle King.
I don't want to be in this car no more, because I see it's getting crazy. So I get out the car, and it's like everything happens so fast. And all I hear is this man screaming, he said, dance, bitch. And he started shooting, and I'm just like, oh my God. Like, he shot a couple of times. And I was so scared.
In the car, shooting from the car, Megan?
He is standing up over the window, shooting. And I didn't even want to move. I didn't want to move too quick, because I'm like, oh my God, if I take the wrong step, I don't know if he can shoot something that's super important. I don't know if he could shoot me and kill me.
Were you afraid for your life at that time?
I was really scared because I had never been shot at before. and I look down at my feet because I wasn't even. The adrenaline is pumping so hard. I'm not sure if he hit me. Like, I feel it, but I don't understand what's happening. So I look down at my feet and I'm like, oh my God, like I'm really bleeding. Mm-hmm. So I like drop down and I crawl in somebody's driveway. Like, I can't believe he shot me.
Well, Megan Thee Stallion answering all the questions. Even Gayle King asked her about her. Did she have a romantic relationship with Tori King? And this is her answer.
Changed since you were shot.
I feel like my anxiety is worse. I feel like my relationship with people it's gotten very cold because I'm not as trusting as I used to be.
I was going to ask you, is it hard for you to trust people?
Like, I got this wall and I don't want to make any friends, and I'm trying to be as nice as I can to everybody. New people, I probably don't even hold a conversation longer than 30 minutes because I feel like every time I'm talking, I'm like on the verge of tears and I don't want to have to explain to strangers why I'm crying.
Yeah.
Half the time I just want to pick up the phone and call my mama and be like, what do I do? Like, it's too much. I feel crazy. I'm sad, like, and I feel like I have to hold it in because I have to be strong for so many people.
Yeah, Megan Thee Stallion. A lot of people are mixed about it, saying that she lied, that she was trying to protect Tory, saying about glass and stuff. I mean, the truth gonna come out. You gonna tell the truth or you ain't gonna tell the truth. You need to make up your mind. And I think sometimes with Megan Thee Stallion, these celebrities, they try to protect folks, but then it don't work out the best way they think it work out. So, gotta think a little bit harder rather than smarter. All right, we'll be right back with more Take. Don't go anywhere. This is the Take on Connect TV, the hub of pop culture. We'll be right back in a minute. Welcome back to the Take. I'm your host as always, Ken Dix here. Right now, this is the Take hub of pop culture on this Thursday, April 28th. We're almost in May. The month of May. Yeah, we're here. But first thing first, join in the conversation using the hashtag Take here on Connect. Don't forget to subscribe. Subscribe is king. Tell a friend, call a friend, hit that subscribe button so you won't miss a thing here on the Take. All right, let's get down to it. Let's get down to the political rundown. On political rundown this week, Vice President Kamala Harris has COVID. Yes, she has quarantined herself, but she continues to work at home. Let's get to the latest on what's going on with the VP right now.
At the White House for a meeting with the president Tuesday morning when a routine COVID test came back positive. She got back in her motorcade and headed home.
We have a very, very contagious variant out there.
The president's new COVID response coordinator, Dr. Ashish Jha, says it's impossible to fully protect even major officials from getting COVID.
The goal of our policies should be, obviously, minimize infections whenever possible, but to make sure people don't get seriously ill. The best ways of doing that are making sure people are vaccinated and boosted, as the vice president is, and making sure we have plenty of therapeutics.
After consulting with her physician, Vice President Harris was prescribed and has taken Paxlovid, the Pfizer antiviral pill. The 57-year-old VP had just returned from a trip to Los Angeles and San Francisco. The last time she was in close proximity to the president was last Monday at the White House Easter egg roll. She now joins the roughly 60% of the U.S. population who have contracted COVID. Democrats argue rising case counts underscore the need to pass a bill that would redirect $10 billion in unspent relief funds to help buy more drugs, vaccines, and testing equipment.
I would urge our Republican colleagues to pass COVID relief ASAP. It's very risky for the health of the American people for them to be playing political games with it.
Vice President Kamala Harris trying to sit home, and I wish I could do what the Vice President doing, but I mean, 2020 was an eventful year, but everybody was taking a break, and everybody just didn't take time to enjoy it and stuff. I did. I took all time of like moving around. I guess they were doing that quarantine stuff, but it made other people go crazy and wanting to work and stuff. Ugh. All right. On the reality show Clip Down this week, Blac Chyna, her trial continues with the Kardashians. Now, we know Blac Chyna suing the Kardashians. The Kardashians countersuing her. Money over money. Let's get to the latest on what's going on with the Blac Chyna Kardashians trial with this. Now we know that Blac Chyna and Rob Kardashian were set to be married, but now they went. But Rob Kardashian alluded that Blac Chyna tried to put a gun at him, and that made the relationship toxic. And Rob felt that he was vulnerable at the time; he couldn't even think. I mean, he felt manipulated, used, abused. Like I said, Rob should know better. And I think too, when you go through, when I was telling you about Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, you in a relationship, you're supposed to make each other better, not try to make each other worse. But some relationship does that, and some do. But we hope that Kardashians and Blac Chyna, Rob, they all get themselves together, get their act together some way, somehow. Never know. Never know. All right, and finally, the viral video of the week. One TikToker dancing to the beat where she don't believe in no negativity. You know, negativity comes and goes. Take a look.
One thing that you gotta remember, one way you don't stop, no show this thing on people. Oh yeah, thank God life don't keep. You wanna go, baby?
That TikToker name is Rachel Matthews, and she dances to the beat, and she is our viral video of the week. And she got a lot of viral views this week for that song, so she ain't worried about it. She ain't fussing about it. So she letting things go. This was a show of letting things go, but hopefully we can move forward. Thank you all for watching The Take this week. I've been your host, Kenny Dick, saying so long. We'll see you next time for another edition of The Take. See you later.